Hello, I'm Luke Lorna, writer, producer, and director of The Count. Now, first of all, I'll just let you know that this was the most difficult film I've ever worked on in my entire life. It was, and I don't actually know that, but to me, it was a challenge. You know, from start to finish, this film has been 12 months in the making. You know, I spent probably 6 months just alone on the script, and probably took a good another 6 months after that to actually plan it and get everything organised, and you know, my actors, and I had to find a location to shoot.
Amy is a quite complex character. It was quite a challenge to take her on, actually, because she's very, very selfish, and as myself, I like to believe I'm not selfish at all. So in that sense, it was quite challenging, especially to put a selfish character like that into a position where she actually gets held down by two crazy men. I think that was the most challenging with the character, but it was also great because Luke really helped me to develop the character. We spoke about the character for a long time. We had rehearsals, and in that sense, I think it really, really helped.
Chris is a character that's just, he's so selfless. He just, it's unlike anything I've ever played. Like, all he wants in his life is to keep Amy happy. That's it. And Amy's happiness, it's a hard thing to achieve, as it seems. It just seems like a role that's so selfless that no matter what he does, it's so hard because, I don't know, it was a tough role. Let's be honest, it was a tough role, and I just loved every bit of it because of not only the scripting, but everything involved with it. It was improv acting. We just had to go with the flow.
So my character, Marco, it's basically his home invasion. He's making this extra money for his family. He's hired Jericho on the side to basically babysit the couple inside while I rob the place. So I'm getting everything out of here. Trying to get on the way, but Mr. Jericho has another idea, starts going on, just losing it, playing these sick games, giving them to count of 10 to do things or they get hurt in a big way. So it's very intense, very emotional. You think of any emotion you can think of, we all hit every one of those emotions throughout the filming of this film. Just every emotion. There was a big range. It was very taxing on all of us, and a lot of fun as well, and something none of us will ever forget. So Marco starts off being a bad guy, ends up being sort of a semi-good guy. Everyone feels a bit sorry for him. Jericho knows Marco's not going to play sick games, so he's got his family hostage. So I have to play the games that Jericho sets, or else he's going to kill them. So that plays out to be a very wild situation.
The original concept for the Count was just two people getting tortured in an abandoned warehouse by a bloke by the name of Jericho, which is me in the film. It had nothing to do with the countdown at all. It had nothing to do with, it didn't have Marco in it. It was just some random guy torturing these people. But the concept still remained. The idea about relationships and about them torturing themselves if they love each other was where it come from.
We just had such an amazing experience after all. I mean, we went through nights, we had some real stressful filming days, and at one point everybody was a little bit like down and stressed and everything, but I think in the end what we got out of it is just so worth it. And I mean, us as cast and crew as well, we worked together amazingly. I mean, I obviously got along with my co-star Dan Hill. Fabulous. I mean, that was just an instant chemistry, which obviously helped to portray the couple of Amy and Chris.
The idea for Luke was to have a home invasion. It was the most terrifying experience on the face of the planet, and the fact that everything wasn't scripted was ridiculous. Like, being inside the house when they were intruding was the most mental thing the most demanding thing I've ever had, because we didn't know what they were going to do, what they had planned. It was amazing. Looking at it now, it was amazing. At the time, it was the most terrifying thing I've ever been involved in.
Yeah, I know
not only was what they were doing incredible, but the reactions I was having to what they were doing physically was almost, no, it wasn't. It wasn't even acting. I was terrified. I was terrified at beyond anything I've ever been in my life. It was ridiculous. And I loved every bit of it. It was challenging, but it was amazing. It was unlike anything I've ever done.
At the end of the day, I do feel sorry for these actors. They really did go through hell. It was unscripted. The home invasion was entirely unscripted. The couple inside the house did not know what we had planned outside, and we didn't know what they had planned inside either. So they had a handheld camera inside the house, which continued on from the party scene for Amy's birthday. The feelings, the emotions that everyone had to go through during the filming of this was quite intense, which made it absolutely amazing working with these people. Just the quality of the acting just blew me away. It was amazing.
I went back to the drawing board and I said, okay, how are we going to make this better? Something completely different. I've watched so many films. I watched Paranormal Activity, The Strangers. I watched Funny Games, and that's where I got my inspiration to write this film from.
It was only like half an hour after the auditions on the way back to Bendigo from Melbourne, we'd set the cast for this film. It was just guaranteed. We knew Nicole and Daniel did not rock up to these auditions. Chris and Amy did. It was just amazing. It was meant to be. It was set, and when we started this film, it just totally became apparent we'd made the right decisions with all the cast and crew. It was just absolutely amazing.
Working with Luke was also, Luke, thank you so much for everything. You really, really made it an amazing experience. The house being 150 years old, thank you so much for Trev for giving us this beautiful location. I mean, Dambola is just for me, obviously because not being from Australia, it was just the drive down here. It was just amazing being out here in the bush and filming such amazing film. Also Luke and Dan, when I first met them at the audition already in Fitzroy Gardens, I liked them straight away. They were straight away really genuine and great people, easy to talk to. And I straight away built a relationship with them. And even at the rehearsals, it was just amazing how the cast and crew, obviously in that way, connected. We were all like a little family, all working together and very, very well, which I think is probably one of the most important things when making a movie.
I got 15 hits within the first but within half an hour to an hour, and it started escalating and it kept growing and growing and growing. I'm like, Jesus Christ, it's a pretty big film, you know, you've got something special here. I even had a message from Star Now, someone from Star Now contact me saying that your film is just, it's had so many hits within so short a time.
There was a basic script that we went by, but at the end of the day, we just did it as we went along. We each reacted to each other. And for us to have the connection between all four of us actors and connect how we did throughout the entire film was just absolutely amazing.
And I just want to say that I'm so excited about seeing this film because everyone's so tight. When Nicole was being hurt, I felt like I was getting hurt. Because I developed a relationship so tight with her that no matter what they did to her, I felt like I had to defend her. Not as the character of Chris, but as myself.
I think the film is something so original. I think the whole idea with the handheld camera and the HD footage, I think it's something that's not been done, and I think it can be even elaborated. I would definitely like to work with everybody again because it was just such a great experience. And I hope to see everybody really soon. So.
I'm known for my introductions. I try to create within the first couple of minutes of any film that I do. I try to really bring across something that people are going to want to watch for another half an hour or whatever. I believe the introduction is one of the most important elements of any film. You know, you've got to nail that. So I think by shooting the entire home invasion with a digital handheld camera, like what you've seen in Blair Witch, like you've seen in Paranormal Activity, no one has ever thought of doing a home invasion caught on a little video camera. You see ghosts, you see zombies, you see all that type of stuff, but no one has ever seen two men taking a house over at the middle of the night on a girl's birthday. And that to me is what's going to make this film. That is what, when people watch that, this film is going to sell right there and then. When they see that, they're going to witness that.